The organization Undoing Tax Abuse is calling for the resignation of Higher Education Minister Dr. Nzimande and NSFAS board chairperson Ernest Khosa. OUTA says it has voice recordings as evidence to support the call. The recordings allegedly detail 2 meetings between Khosa and a representative of a service provider, which reveal how service providers reportedly paid millions of rand in kickbacks to Nzimande and Khosa allegedly, as well as at least 1 million rand to the South African Communist Party. Both Nzimande and Khosa have denied the allegations, with the minister threatening legal action.
We are calling on the law enforcement agencies to take these recordings and to take our allegations further and investigate it, so that there can be a clear outcome on this matter. You know, you mentioned the amounts in the recordings, and they're the gentlemen that were, you know, in the meetings. They alleged that there was a war chest that was developed with 6 million rand for the use of Mr. Khosa and the minister. They, on more than one occasion, talk about the sponsorships or the monies that were paid to the South African Communist Party. And at one stage, the one gentleman alleged that, you know, they had to pay Mr. Khosa 1.2 million rand from the proceeds or from the money that they had on the contract that they were busy, the direct payment scheme. It's money that they ought to use for expenses and like bank cards and so on, and they paid that over. So there are serious allegations, and I think that is why we made this bold call.
Well, the SRC president at Tshwane University of Technology, Masike, is calling for a probe to determine the legitimacy of the allegations.
There must be an investigation, because remember, this report as well, we must not just take everything that is just said there and then we want to throw our opinions, and then when something is just said, more especially even considering the historic background of OUTA as an institution as well. So we might not really know, but if there is such an activity where money was paid to the South African Communist Party, those comrades must then be held accountable as well in a court of law, because we're not going to protect criminals, we're not going to protect fly-by-night companies that were appointed in a restaurant where the leadership is just exchanging bags, discussing who must benefit and all of that. So we're not going to agree that the money of the poor and the working class and taxpayers' money is just used by a particular group of friends who are trying to create a stokvel out of the money of the poor and the vulnerable.
Let's speak to Sasco President Vezinhlanhla Simelane on this. Thank you very much for your time this morning. What is Sasco's position on this?
Thanks very much. Good morning to you and good morning to our viewers at home. I think number one, we must say it vehemently that the allegations that are leveled against the Minister of Higher Education, Minister Nzimande, and the chairperson of the board, Mr. Khosa, are very serious allegations, and we do believe that as an organization, if really these allegations are true, I don't think any one of them they stand to be in their positions that they are holding in their offices. But for this to be tested, we believe that as an organization, law enforcement agencies must immediately take responsibility in relation to what they have said in terms of the voice note, the voice recording that are circulating on social media, and the statement by OUTA must be tested by court, so that if ever these comrades indeed they did what is alleged they did, we don't think that they are fit to sit in the office. But for now, we're just asking for law enforcement agencies to immediately take the action, so that all of these things that are happening are also put to rest. Because one of the things that we do believe, if ever really the minister and the chair were involved in such corruption, it means that even the challenges that we're experiencing at NSFAS, in our view, we do believe that it might be informed by the mismanagement of funds and all of those things. So we're calling upon our law enforcement agencies to immediately take action against the allegations that are leveled against the minister and the chairperson of the board.
Okay. NSFAS has experienced some problems in the recent months. Only last year you only need to think of what happened last year. It's a new academic year for Sasco. To your knowledge, where are students? Do they know that they will be funded? How many still need to be funded, etc.? Is there anything that you are able to give us an update on when it comes to students who will be facing a new academic year and entering the NSFAS system?
From where we're sitting now, NSFAS has not communicated to our students in terms of who has been able to be accepted in their system in terms of new students in relation to funding and all of that. So we thought that maybe at this time in point, this is what we are going to deal with, because it's an urgent match, as we are saying that we have started our academic year. So we really want to know in terms of how many students have been accepted by NSFAS, how many have been rejected, what are those reasons for rejection and all of those things. So as things stand, NSFAS has not communicated to students in terms of new students who have been accepted by the system. What we know for sure is that those ones who have been in the system and who have performed academically, they will continue to benefit from NSFAS. So that is why I was saying these reports that are coming out, in our view, they are very problematic, because they are now beginning to shift the focus in terms of what we are supposed to be dealing with. But of course, the reports that are coming out are important to us, because we don't want to believe that things are working properly at NSFAS, but at the same time there are people who are doing wrong things. That is why we are welcoming that report, so that it can be tested in court. But from the question we are asking, there is nothing at stands now that says these are students who have been accepted by NSFAS, and we are still waiting for NSFAS to immediately communicate that, so that our students can know. For those who need to appeal, they must know that they must appeal on time. We don't want NSFAS to communicate decisions when registration is about to start, because there are students who will be unable to register, who in our view, they'll be qualifying for NSFAS. So I think NSFAS must immediately communicate decisions in terms of new students who have been accepted by NSFAS.
Vezinhlanhla Simelane is the president of Sasco. Thank you very much for your time this morning.